Welcome to the Raven Space on YouTube. My name is Jason, and this is Raven Space Daily, where we talk about Baltimore Ravens news every single day. And this is the preview show for the Ravens versus the Bengals. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Please subscribe to the Raven Space on YouTube if you're not yet subscribed for the best Baltimore Ravens content. Also, a special shout out to our Patreon subscribers, because without you guys, none of this is possible. And we're going to hop right in to the preview show. This is the first one. It's going to be very in-depth. So if you're ready for this, stay tuned. It's going to be awesome. Please give me any ideas, any things you have down in the description, if any changes you want me to make. But first, we're going to talk about the offense. And we're going to talk about some things that I think you have to know first. So what do you have to know about the Ravens offense going into this game? One, Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco is not 100%. I don't believe he is. Is he good enough to play? Yes, he is. And he will play. He'll be strong. The biggest thing is his connection with his receivers, his offensive line. How is that going to be? That's what we have to watch in this game. Second thing to know, the offensive line has to be cohesive together. And will they? We just don't know. Let's go through who is going to be on the offensive line first, so you guys can form your own opinion of these players, because you've seen these players play before, right? For the most part. So, one, Ronnie Stanley. Ronnie Stanley is always going to be solid. Two, at the left guard, James Hurst. Some questions about that. James Hurst mostly played tackle. He switched into a new position. The Ravens think he is better than some other options they have, so we'll see how he plays. The move from tackle to guard should help him, because he has trouble with more mobile pass rushers. Center, Ryan Jensen. I thought he played decent in the preseason. Now he has a chance to show against a great defensive tackle in Geno Atkins. Then you have at guard again, the GOAT, one of the greatest, Marshall Yonder, no worries. And then at tackle, Austin Howard, the newbie who came over from free agency after he was released by the Raiders. So we'll see. But the goal is that all these players have to come together cohesively and to protect Joe Flacco. Can they do that? I expect to see a lot of stunts, a lot of different pressures that you usually run to get into the head of a rookie. You pressure. But the reason they're doing it this time is to confuse that offensive line. So be ready for that. Do I think the Ravens offensive line is better than the Bengals defensive line? No. But if they can just hold out, not too many sacks, the sacks will be given up, but if they can hold out and play well, I think the Ravens have a chance. And then last thing you need to know is that the Ravens are going to come out throwing the ball. I really do think that. We'll see. If I'm wrong about this, go in the comments, guys, and say, Jason, they're going to run the ball way more. You're a fool. I don't think that's going to happen. If that was going to happen, you go get a real running back and not a Danny Woodhead, who is basically a receiver calling themselves a running back. So that's what I think about the offense. Do I think the offense is better than the Bengals defense? No. But I do think the offense can score enough points down the field where the Bengals have weaker corners and make some very good things happen. And I think that they have a chance to put up about 20 points, maybe more. So we're going to move on to the defensive preview. And the defensive preview is, a little straightforward, right? Our defense is better than the offense. Point blank, period. Signed, still delivered. It's yours. But there is one major issue that we're going to see, and I'm going to talk to you guys. And so the first thing I want to talk about, the first point that you have to know before going to this game is that one of the great young players that Ozzie Newsome found, Jalen Hill, is out. Jalen Hill will not be a part of this game. He was officially ruled out. Now, what does that mean? That means someone else is going to have to take that responsibility of the slot cornerback. And who is it going to be? Is it going to be Levine? Is it going to be Humphrey? I don't think so. I think Ladarius Webb is going to jump into that slot, which is dangerous now. Ladarius Webb, last time he was at cornerback in the NFL, played terrible. And that's honestly how I felt. He played bad. But he's a veteran. He knows the defense. He's the best answer right now. I think switching up him and Levine is the best way to attack this issue. And that's what I think the Ravens are going to do. I think it's going to be good for the Ravens. I think they're going to get better as a result. And I'm hoping that we can keep that hole shut. But other than that, at every other level, I think the Ravens are better than the Bengals. Defensive line, offensive line, I would give it to the Ravens. The Bengals offensive line has become so bad. So many players have left. I think we're going to get a lot of sacks this game. So I'll put the over under at 4. So we'll see, maybe 3.5, but it's going to be a good game for the Ravens on defense. In my opinion, we're better at every level of the defense. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen. The only hole that the Ravens have is that cornerback, and I just don't know. My player to watch out for is going to have to be Tyus Bowser. I'm excited for him. He's not going to get a lot of time because Gion will start, but I think that he could have an interception in this game because of his coverage ability. So now we're going to move on to the third topic, special teams and other information. Now, I know you guys are wondering other information, just talking about coaches and my prediction. And special teams is going to be even shorter than defense. The Ravens have the best special teams in the league. No worries here. The Bengals don't have anyone that scares me without John Ross being in the game as a returner. So I would say that I would give the edge to Justin Tucker and the special teams unit to put up some points. And we're going to need them because our offense is just not good enough to win games without Justin Tucker. So I know it's sad, but that's what it is. So it's fine. I think the Ravens have the best special teams unit in the league with Tucker and Cook. And I'm super excited to see how they play this year. I think they'll play well. Morgan Cox as well in that rotation of 3. So I'm excited to see what happens there. From the coaching perspective, I think John Harbaugh is the better head coach. I do like Marvin Lewis as a head coach, though, but he just hasn't shown he can win in the time where you have to prove it. And I also think that Dean Pease is the best assistant coach in the game. So that's what I think. And just to give my overall preview review, the Ravens, it's going to be a tight game because the Ravens defense is better than the Bengals offense, and the Bengals defense is better than the Ravens offense. It might be a game that they score a little bit of points. I would say I'm expecting 20-17 Ravens. So I'm hoping the Ravens win 20-17. That's what I think the score is going to be. And now we're going to move to the mailbag question of the day. And if you want to send your questions in, please send them to mailbag@ravenspace.com. And this question comes from Colin. And Colin asks, who is going to be the best offensive performer against the Bengals? Thank you so much for your question, Colin. And for me, it comes down to 2 players. It's either going to be a receiver like Macklin or a receiver like Mike Wallace. And the reason I go down to those 2 is because who's going to be better is what you have to ask. And is it going to be Macklin and his overall skill set, which I think is the best on the team as a receiver, or is it going to be the connection that Mike Wallace has with Joe Flacco? So I wrestled around with this a little bit, and if I had to pick, I would pick the connection that Mike Wallace has with Joe Flacco. The more I think about him, the more I think it's going to be important. Joe Flacco wants to throw to someone he knows, especially in this first game against the Bengals team that's going to be blitzing heavily, in my opinion. So I think Mike Wallace and his quick slant magic will be the best performer in this game. So thank you so much for your question. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is the end. I hope you guys enjoyed the preview. Check out our hype video that we released for the Ravens and the Bengals. It's awesome. Thank you guys so much. Please subscribe to the Ravens Space on YouTube for the best Baltimore Ravens content on the internet. Also, if you want to become a Patreon subscriber and support independent media, check out our Patreon page in the link below. Thank you guys so much, and go Ravens.